One example of what we do in the insurance advisory services area, just recently for a client of ours, not very unusual. They have what we call a sort of multi-layer insurance program, which is made up of a primary insurance policy, and above that will be a series of excess policies, sort of your tower of coverage. So for this particular client, we're talking about a total of $50 million of coverage, primary at $5 million, and then another 45 of what we call additional or excess insurance. Here's the issue. Their existing insurance, it was a renewal program. They were coming up with their broker, renewing the policies. The excess policies all had language that said, we are only going to be triggered if the underlying or primary insurer pays their policy limits in full and the insurance company pays it, period. Here's the problem. Our client had a claim. Another client had a claim. Similar program. They want to settle with the underlying insurer, the primary. It's a $5 million policy. They had a dispute about coverage. Our client was willing to pay $1 million towards the policy limit. The primary was going to pay $4 million for a total of $5 million to exhaust the program, to exhaust that policy. The excess policies all had this language that said, sorry, we're not triggered because the underlying insurer didn't pay all $5 million itself. You, policyholder, made a contribution of $1 million. This is a very, very bad situation. We see it all too often. So recently we saw the same language on a series of renewal policies. We, working with the broker and our client, were able to negotiate that language out of the excess policies so that now in a future dispute, if our client wants to make a contribution to the primary insurer or maybe another underlying excess insurer, the other carriers above them, the other excess insurers, are going to then be triggered. And so their insurance proceeds are going to be available to our client. It's a very, very important aspect of a multi-layer insurance program, but all too often it causes a problem later on with an actual live dispute. And really, it's only through the experience of our claims work and seeing this play out in a real live dispute where we had a problem accessing excess limits. It's that experience that is able to allow us to identify that problem and fix it during the negotiations with the underwriter. And sometimes the brokers who really take the lead on this don't necessarily bring that experience to bear with respect to these insurance policies and negotiating these terms and conditions.